But yeah, so let's talk about Joe Musgrove a little bit. I mean, I think Joe Musgrove is a very interesting case just because I remember last year, Chase, when we first started out, we are talking about Joe Musgrove, and you definitely know pitching the most out of us three. No Isaac today, but including Isaac and I. And we were talking about Joe Musgrove in an episode, and I remember you said something that was a hot take at the time and a take that people did not like, and you got ripped in the comments for it. And you said, I think Joe Musgrove could be the best pitcher in this staff. I think he could be better than Darvish. I think he could, at that time, it was better than Snell. Those were the main two guys. And you said, I think he could be the best. And I remember people in the comments were like, yo, what the hell is this guy talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Well, then the next day, Joe Musgrove comes out, throws a no-hitter, and then kind of becomes, the San Diego kid. And then we've looked at what he's done since then, and Joe Musgrove has been absolutely outstanding. We're looking at this contract. Anytime you make $100 million, you're breaking the bank, right? Well, Joe Musgrove did take a hometown discount, and I think we do need to take notice of that. Joe Musgrove potentially could have got $30 million a year. Maybe not over 5 years, but for a 4-year deal, we could have seen him get that on the open market. I had talked to some of my friends that are fans of different MLB teams, and they were like, hey, I hope that you let Joe Musgrove walk, because I'd be cool if my team gave him a $30 million a year for 4 years, like 4 for 120. Joe Musgrove opts to take a little bit of a hometown discount. Now, he's still going to be extremely loaded. He's still going to get paid, right? And I love to see that. But this is a big deal for the Padres, and they have their ace of the future. They're bringing the dude that grew up a Padres season ticket holder. So I am so happy that Joe Musgrove has got officially extended as of earlier today. I know that the news came out over the weekend. We wanted to wait until everything was final until we were going to talk about it. But Chase, I know you've been talking about copping a new jersey. I know that Joe Musgrove was one of the names you were talking about. So one, how do you feel about the extension? And two, are you going to cop that jersey?
I'm definitely gonna cop that jersey with my next paycheck. And dude, it's so great to see Musgrove sign an extension. It was one of those things where like, yeah, it sounds like either Musgrove or we're gonna keep like Clev and Mania or another guy. But now Musgrove took a hometown discount. You can sign Clev to an extension too. Your pitching staff is solid for the next few years. You still have Snell and Darvish. You have Gore. It's just one of those things. It's nice to have the hometown kid back. He's no Joe. He has the first no-hitter in Padres history. He's the hometown kid. He's back in San Diego, back where he belongs. Everybody loves him. He signed a really team-friendly deal. It's great. We all thought he was going to make more than $100 million. I think we had him making $120 million through 5 to 6 years, which is right around on track, but I definitely saw him taking more than $1 million a year, especially considering how he was pitching this year. He's been insane. I know he's had a little bit of a rough patch recently, but it's really good to see him go from, okay, he might be another pitching bust on the Pirates to coming to his hometown and being the ace of the team. It's a storybook story. I mean, like, it's everything you could have wanted and more. Yeah, I'm just happy, man. I'm gonna go get a jersey. Which jersey I'm gonna go get, if I'm gonna do the City Connect or I'm gonna go the pinstripes, but I'm definitely getting a jersey.
Which one would you do if you did pinstripes? Would you do the white one or the brown one, like home or away?
Probably the home.
Yeah, I have a home Tatis and I have an away Cronenworth. That's all I got right now, but it is it'll be sweet, man, because I'm pumped. I mean, he was definitely one of the guys where it felt like if you let Musgrove walk, that's just gonna feel like such a huge blow in the offseason. No matter what happens, like that one's gonna hurt. We've also talked about the future of this rotation, how there's a lot of question marks there. Well, looking at it right now, and okay, let's assume Gore is healthy. I know that's not entirely accurate because we don't really know, but let's say Gore is healthy to start next year. You have 4 guys under contract for sure, and potentially Nick Martinez if he does opt into his deal. And then that's also counting. You have Mania and Clev as free agents as well. So say that Nick Martinez is opt out, you could go and re-sign one of those guys as well. But all of a sudden, the pitching staff for next year, maybe not moving forward after next year, but for next year, it's looking a lot better because right now you got Musgrove, Darvish, Snell, and Gore under contract for that year. So I'm really happy about it. I think this was one of the things where I was looking at where the Padres were going to be at. And if they let Musgrove walk, it gets a little scary. Now, he is still going to make a good amount of money. I know there's people that are concerned about what he's going to look like when he's older just because he throws so many sliders and stuff. But to me, like, sometimes you just got to go and you got to keep your guy because he's like, and we're talking about another guy too that like Padre fans love Joe Musgrove. Like, that's the other thing is that anytime Joe Musgrove's pitching, it feels like it's a sellout crowd. It feels like everyone's pumped to have him. It feels like he is the guy that you want to extend. If you're going to extend anyone, you extend Java Joe. You know, so I'm really happy that that's going to be the case for this team. I love that they brought him back. 5 years, $100 million. Yes, that's a massive payday, but it wasn't like it was only a couple months ago when there was a rumor that the Padres offered Joe Musgrove $17 million, and everyone was like, "Wow, this is such a disrespectful offer." He barely ends up taking more than that, so he definitely took a big time hometown discount. But I'm super stoked that he's going to be back, and I think it was a great move. I think it was the right move. I think walking him or letting him walk would have been stupid. So yeah, I'm all for it. But anything that you want to add on No Joe?
I mean, he's the hometown hero. He deserves his paycheck no matter which way you put it. He has the first no-hitter, like I said earlier. All the fans love him. When you go to a Padres game and you see No Joe, the whole crowd's into it. They love him. They're always cheering him on and off the field. He's the hometown kid. And it would have been really sad to see him walk because the Padres kind of have a history of letting guys walk, and seeing them finally be like, no, this is our guy. We're gonna pay him. It's really good to see. I know we did that with Tatis and we did that with Machado, but it's a little bit different when he grew up, in El Cajon, going to Padres games. He's 44 for Jake Peavy. I mean, come on. What is there not to love about the guy? And it would have just sucked to see him go because I know we mentioned it in like a live stream. I don't think we made a video about it, but Adrian Gonzalez had wanted to come back to the Padres, and he would have taken the veteran minimum deal because we already had Hosmer, and he's been an off the bench kind of bat, maybe a spot start here or there. But he wanted to come and retire with the Padres, and the Padres denied him that. And if they had done that with No Joe, it would have just been heartbreaking. And so I'm really glad they did this. So hopefully, he lives, or he doesn't live. He lives to complete his years with the Padres, like his entire MLB career. I want him to retire a Padre. I don't want to see him go on a 1-year deal like when he's 37. Just keep him until he retires.
Yeah, and definitely seems like they're in a good spot to be able to do that. So I'm pumped about it. And congrats to Joe Musgrove for getting paid.